had got more brains. I thought he was more of a businessman. Fraser, despite various altercations with the Krays over the years, ended up being close friends with the twins, especially Ron, with whom he spent several years at Broadmoor. So professional boxing was out for the twins, and they couldn't sing. But their fame as gangsters has kept them in the public eye in this country for as long as 60s icons, the Beatles and Elvis Presley. I am always amazed by not only how well remembered the Krays are by people who were around in the 60s and 70s, but how widely their name is known among younger generations who seem to endlessly devour books, films and TV shows about the brothers. The documentary I made for Sky about the Krays has been repeated several times and, as I write, is still being shown. When first transmitted, it attracted the biggest audience Sky's crime investigation channel had ever known. And the Krays' fame is not confined to the UK. Their name is known on the continent, in Australia, and thanks to the Kemp brothers' 1990 film, in the US. Our story, when first published, spent several weeks at the top of the Sunday Times bestseller list. What is their long-lasting appeal? Why are they still so famous? Why do people, young and old, find their stories so engaging years after they rule the streets of the East End, and years even since they both died? Maybe it's nostalgia, a memory of a time when life seemed simpler, less complicated. But while some are quick to mythologize the brothers, others are less positive about Reg and Ron Kray. The family of Reg's beautiful wife Frances, who died aged 24, are among them. Many of Frances's family have their own beliefs about what happened to her. There are even unproven theories that she was murdered. Many of the Krays' own gang, known as the Firm, also have bad memories of the brothers, particularly Ron. I spoke to one former member in the Carpenter's Arms, the pub bought by the twins for their mother. It's in Cheshire Street, just 100 yards from their old home on Valence Road. Today it's considered a trendy place. Back then it's been claimed the counters were made of coffin lids. The former Firm member told me, "I fell out with Ronnie, but then I got a message to meet him in a flat. I thought we were going to talk things over, get things sorted, but when I got there, he was with some other guys from the Firm. Ron started to slag me off. He was screaming and shouting. Saliva was coming out of his mouth. Then the guys held me down while Ron got a red-hot poker from the fire and held it against my face. I screamed and screamed. I've still got the scar. But Ron just fucking laughed. He was a cruel bastard." Working on this book with the Kray twins was never going to be easy. That was the warning I was given by several people, including the governor of Parkhurst Prison and the medical director at Broadmoor Hospital for the criminally insane. The project began in 1985, after Reg saw a programme I'd hosted on Coast to Coast, the nightly news listing for the south of England. I remember the report vividly. It featured the father of a young girl whose life had been saved by a kidney transplant. To show his thanks, he wanted to raise money to buy some specialised equipment for the hospital. A couple of days after the programme had aired, I received a letter franked by HMP Parkhurst. It was from Reg Kray. The writing, difficult to decipher because of the scrawling hand that Reg shared with his brother, said, "I watched the film on your programme. I'd like to help. There are some talented artists here in Parkhurst. You could sell some of their paintings to make some money." I confess I was a little startled to receive this letter. I was aware of the Krays, of course. I was a young man in the 50s and early 60s when they made headlines as they ruled the streets of London and were finally sent down by Leonard Nipper Reid. Nipper Reid was a chief superintendent on the Met's murder squad in the mid-60s and dedicated his life to bringing down the Kray twins. Ironically,